I know there was a lot of reporting that there was going to be a cyber arms control agreement with
China.
There
was, yes.
And that was erroneous reporting, so don't believe everything you read. And that was never true. And in fact, I don't think it makes sense to have a quote-unquote cyber arms control treaty. I don't know what a cyber arm is. I think what we've been focusing on instead is what are the norms, what are the actions, what are the effects that we think that countries, states, should not participate in. There's other actors too. Cybercrime, we've been focusing on the Budapest Convention for Cybercrime. So you deal with different threats in different ways. But I don't think moving to a treaty when you have such quickly evolving technology, A, and B, when you have, I think, a lot of work to do to get countries to agree to these larger norms makes sense.
So when you say you don't know what a cyber arm is, I mean, can you say more about that?
Well, there's a lot of dual-use technologies. I mean, a piece of code could be used for malicious purposes. It could be used for research purposes. It could be used for defensive purposes. And then, how do you actually control that piece of code? So if you're looking at it more in terms of what are the effects you're saying that should be off the table, like attacking critical infrastructure, that's a more logical way to do it, and it helps the conversation. In the nuclear world, it took 40 years to really get to a point where people understood it. We're not going to take 40 years, but it's going to take a little while to get countries to understand both the issues and then move together. And even though some of the more developed countries, I think, have really been discussing this, and this GG had a number of developing countries as well, this is a conversation that's more than just for the developed countries of the world, it's for every country in the world. And it's frankly for more than just the governments. I mean, there are concerns that the private sector has, civil society has, so you have to bring them in too.
So you brought up the comparisons with the nuclear discussions, and cyber deterrence is kind of the new hot word on the hill. And so what is one thing that the U.S. could do better that you would say to have a deterrence strategy that would go a long way towards raising the cost for the attackers? So
there's huge differences, as I think almost anyone will tell you, between the nuclear world and the cyber world. There's attribution differences. You don't see a launch plume when a cyber